Hey everyone, welcome to Nerd Talk. I'm Mike.
And I'm Chris.
And today we're doing a review on episode 9. Is that right? We're on 9 or on 10?
That's a good question.
It's Common Ground. we'll have to circle around with the number. It might be number 10. Anyway, Common Ground is the episode we're reviewing today. And if you're new to the channel, we are not going to jump into spoilers right off the bat. We'll kind of give you our thoughts on the episode without giving any plot points away, and then we'll dive into the plot by plot moments and Easter eggs and things that we've seen. So with that being said, Common Ground. Chris, what did you think?
Episode 10.
Episode 10. There you go.
Checked it out. As always, a good episode in my opinion. Really interesting to see the dynamics between the team going on. But I really like the way that the stories are going. The episodes, I want more. Obviously, since they're only about 30-ish minutes or so. Always wanting more, which is a good thing for shows. But I'm really enjoying it as a Star Wars fans and just as an entertaining show.
Yeah, I completely agree. I enjoyed this episode. Kind of get to see I don't want to say action, but more of like the strategies and stuff in place, which I really liked. So it brought me back to like the Clone Wars and that kind of stuff and how the team works together. So I really like that. We got to see a different perspective on people, and the title suggests common ground, and finding that common ground between opposing people, I guess, is the best I could say without spoiling anything. But I liked kind of where they went, the purpose of the episode, and then kind of how it ended.
Yes,
I thought that was cool. How it's like, okay, where are we gonna go from here now? And so I thought it was well done. Really enjoyed it. It didn't feel like one of those episodes that were just like, I'll just get to the next one. It felt like there was purpose here. So I enjoyed it.
Definitely, I agree.
All right, so let's jump right in. So if you haven't watched the episode, this is where you want to stop. Spoilers ahead, and then come back after you watch the episode. So we open up with. I guess they're getting a new mission. No. We're actually on the planet of Raxus.
That's right.
And it's basically the central planet for one of the centralized planets that was part of the separatist organization, if you will. Yeah. And so the
Empire's kind of taking it over and has all their troopers there.
Yes, right, and the Senator Abby Singh has to address his people, and so the Imperial lady, I don't know her name, kind of goes up and talks to people about having a curfew and that they're not here to they're here to treat everyone fairly. Yeah,
and the Emperor is for them, and it'll make everyone better and the universe better and everything.
And so then she invites the senator to come up and speak. And so he's having a conversation with his droid and saying, like, this isn't right. I don't feel like this is what we should do. And the droid's like, just do we were told, like, this is the part of the plan. And he goes, what am I supposed to be, a puppet now of the Empire?
Yeah.
And she goes, well, you have two options. It's like you'll be
captured.
You can be captured or worse. Yeah. And if you don't do it. So he decides to go ahead and start saying, like, this is what's best for us, and then he stops. He's like, no, my job here is to have your best interest, not what's best for me. And so he stands up and says, we won't sit down. They don't belong here. We don't agree with the stuff that they're coming and they're doing to us. And then he basically gets
pretty much like
away.
Tactics of like being aggressive and scare tactics kind of thing. He says that they're doing.
That's right. And so then he gets taken away, and so the people are upset. And so she orders like the clones to move in. And so they're kind of pushing people back, and they're like, we have every right to be here. This is our planet. You're trespassing. Yeah. And then a bunch of the ATTE tanks kind of come in and kind of subdue people, kind of, I guess, sort of calm down.
Scatter. But he also speaks with his droid about, whatever I do, follow my protocol, essentially.
That's right.
Follow what I've told you to do. And that droid, to me, reminded me a lot of L3...
37?
Yeah, L37 from Solo.
Yes.
Lando's. Just the voice, the female voice, and it didn't look quite the same, but it was, very similar. But mine's attitude, the voice, and the way it sounded reminded me a lot of that droid.
That's a good call. As he gets captured, she runs off. Yeah. And I say she, it's a female voice. She runs off. And so then we flip over to
she does a communication first, right?
Do we see that?
Yeah. So she does a communication saying that her master's been taken under Imperial custody and that she needs help, and then it cuts to the
Ord Mantell. So they're coming down the street. They have a new box of Mantell mix, or basically their popcorn or whatever you want to call it. And so they're walking down the street, heading back to Sid's, I guess. And there's a nice conversation between Omega and them about the food, and then them talking about like what they're gonna do next and stuff. And so Sid comes, offers them a proposition of a new job. In this particular case, it's the Separatists. They talk about them going to Raxus, and so Echo pipes up and is like, Raxus, that's the central hub of the Separatists. And so Hunter's like, oh, we're helping Separatists now? No, thank you. He throws the chip back. Like, I'm not doing this. And she goes, a job's a job, and you need to get paid.
Your debt's still not paid off. Yeah,
and this is something that you need to do. And so, so they, begrudgingly decide to go. And so Hunter tells Omega that she's going to stay behind. And she's like, well, I thought I was part of the team. And he goes, you are. And so this is an order, so you should be able to follow orders. And so she reluctantly stays behind and tells
Sid to like Hunter watch over her. Sid had a conversation about, watching over her. And that he doesn't trust her. But, she's like, good, you shouldn't trust me. But it's in my best interest to get the most money. So
that's right.
It's in her best interest to look after Omega.
That's right. So they leave. Omega's left behind, and so Sid's like, "I got a mission for you." And gives her like, clean up my room.
Like a scrubber thing to clean the bar and stuff.
That's funny. So then we cut to the clones kind of heading off on their mission, and they arrive at the planet, and Echo is not really happy about being here. He multiple times talks about them being separatists. You can't trust them, and so they have to transmit the codes. They're stopped by a couple of ships,
2 ships,
to transmit their clearance code. Yeah, and so they do so, and then at that point, they're waiting a while. And he's like, "Oh, this is separatist. I don't know.
It's a trap. It could be a trap. Yeah."
And what Tech's like, "You've told us multiple times. Like, just chill out, man." So the clone's cleared. They land. Everything's fine. And so
that just shows like Echo, like so with the Clone Wars,
because it was the separatists that did that to him, right? Not only did they fought against him, but they basically terrorized him and tortured him, and turned him into what he is.
Exactly.
And so he's like, "I don't want to deal with these people. I can't trust these people.
Yeah.
Even if the separatists are no more, they chose to be on that side, so everyone as part of the separatists must be evil." And so I'm thinking, that must be like some big bad person. But the droid meets them out of the ship, and of course the gun's drawn, and Echo's all there. It's like, we're taking orders from a droid. Like, this is what's going on here. And she makes like a comment, and she even goes as far as saying, "I like this one," to Echo, and he's like, "What?"
Like straight to the point. I like this. Let's go.
Yeah. So they head out to go to meet him, and so as they approach, they see that there's clone troopers everywhere, and they're not sure what to do, and so they have plans where they kind of send her out to distract the guards. She doesn't know what to do, so she starts talking to them, and they run over to her, and so of course the Bad Batch take them out. And so then Hunter, as they get inside, Tech hacks in, gets a hold of the security cameras, and is able to see the situation. Yeah. They get in and says, "Okay, Wrecker and Wrecker and
Tech.
Echo.
Oh yeah,
you go up to the top floor, and Tech and I and the droid, you're coming with me. We're gonna go on the main floor or whatever."
That's right.
And so that's what they split up. So we don't see Wrecker and Echo. They're gone.
They're just taking out people up top.
And we follow Hunter. We follow Hunter, and so Tech scans and is able to. There's 2 people in the hallway, but he's able to scan another 4 bodies in the next room or something like that. And so so Hunter's like, "Okay, I'll go around. I'll take these guys out. Tech, you and Omega flank around." And so Tech's like, "That's a great idea, except that..."
Tank's like, "That's impossible."
Oh,
that's impossible because Omega's not here. He's like, "Oh yeah, that's right."
That's right.
So like in his head, he like realizes that she's a part of the team, and like he's giving commands because she's automatically there. Yeah.
And so the droid's like, "Don't worry, I know what to do," and just runs out and tries to distract them. And so they throw the stun grenade between her legs and just destroy. There's really, really cool tactics. Yeah. How they kind of deploy all of their weapons, and it's really well done. Yeah.
And they're very strategical, and each member
and much
has
more stealth because remember, Wrecker never was all stealth. He's like, "Let's go in, let's go destroy everything." And then it wasn't until the Clone Wars where Anakin and stuff was like, "We really need to try to be stealth." And of course, Wrecker comes in and shoots, and then there's their cover blown. Now they have to move more stealth because the clone troopers are against them.
All against it. Yeah.
And it's cool to see them like still be effective. And how do they use their strengths and be stealthy? And now I guess they didn't want us to see Echo and Wrecker because it probably wasn't very stealthy.
He just ran around stunning everyone, but it was interesting to see, even with all their strengths and so, but their tactics and everyone being used for their reasons.
Yeah. So while they're taking out, the door opens, the guard comes out. They're taking him out. The tussle kind of knocks him over and knocks the vase over, which the droid catches and says, "This is priceless. Be careful." Blah blah blah. Yeah.
And she carries it the rest of the episode.
Yeah, and Hunter's like, "Oh, droids, like, who cares? Like, we're here to do a mission. Who cares about the stuff?" So they make it to Abby.
I think is this when they cut back to Sid and Omega?
Yes, you're right. So they're playing
scrubbing.
Yes, and she's asking like what's wrong, and she's bringing the bar down, and she's like upset, like she hasn't heard from them. She's worried where they're going. And she's like, well, if you weren't so helpless, then maybe we could have done something. And so she's like, I'm not helpless.
And then she storms off and goes. And then those two guys that are always in the bar.
Yes, they're playing.
They're just shaking, like looking at Sid, like
oh, that's right,
shaking their head. But yeah, they were playing that chess, but they were just shaking their head like, why did you talk to her like that kind of thing.
And then it wasn't until the next cutback that they're playing. So we see they meet up with Ivy Singh, and when they get in the room, the leader, the Empire lady officer, is there with a couple of clones and the interrogation droid. Just same one you see like Darth Vader use on Leia and stuff like that. So they're gonna basically try to get the information out of him, and luckily the Hunter and stuff show up, throw a gas grenade in there, use their stun guns, take everyone out, save them just in time. But when they shoot the officer, she's able to just, I guess, hit the button on the remote she has to call for help.
Yeah, it seems to have just dropped, and then she gets up after they disabled the... So they're getting away, but I guess, you're right.
Because then he goes, oh, my sensor says there's an alarm going off. So she had it in her hand, so I guess when she got stunned, she hit it and dropped it, and that called... like reinforcements. So while they're talking to the guy, text like, "Oh, there's been an alarm triggered or whatever. Our position's been compromised. We need to find another way out." And so Hunter tells Avi and stuff like to follow me. They're gonna go up to the second floor to meet up with Wrecker and Echo. They get up top and they see like all the troops that are coming in, and so quickly they decide, I think it's Hunter that comes up with the plan to commandeer the tank, to take over the tank. So being clones, having used this in the Clone Wars at some point, they know exactly how to get on there. How
many people would be in there, how many troopers and things like that.
Wrecker shoots his grappling gun, Tech and all of them come down, stun the guy on the turret, come down, open up the hatch, take the driver out, and then throw in a stun grenade to take out the last two guys inside. And so then they're inside the commandeer. Wrecker throws the leftover guys out, and then quickly enough, we see the lead officer and the other clones awake. And I found that this was odd because they woke up so quick, but then the original clones that they knocked out on the way there, wouldn't they have got up before they even got there? Like I thought that was kind of weird how quick they woke up, but the other ones, if they did woke up, would have raised the alarm a lot quicker, right?
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
That was a little
I thought they would have been knocked out for a lot longer, but it was what it was. But yeah, so she lets them know that they commandeered a tank to go after them. So another tank is chasing it down the street slowly, shoots a shot and hits her right on the back leg, takes out an axle or something like that, so they can't move. So they have to defend the tank while Tech fixes it manually
outside.
So they go out. So now I think we're cutting back at some point to the
to Omega and Sid in the bar. Yeah, and that's where Sid's playing against the two gentlemen that are two creatures that are in the. What's that game called again?
The Jerk.
Yeah, so they're playing that, and Sid's about to lose, and she's still talking, and then she's about to make a move, and Omega pipes up and says, "I wouldn't do that."
Yeah.
And then Sid makes a comment of, "Oh, look, we have an expert or
and so she makes the move. She gets killed, and she's left with one piece left in this Star Wars chess game. And then she's like, I told you. And she says, oh yeah, smart guy, expert. What would you do? She comes over, does a command, and then takes two pieces out. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. Okay. So it's not very much like chess where you move one piece and you take a piece out. Apparently your piece can take multiple pieces out. It's really, really interesting. So she wins. And so Sid's pretty amazed because they lost money because they bet against Sid and they lost. And so she's like, how did you do that? And she's like, it's a strategy game. I'm very good at strategy. She goes, really?
Enough to make some money.
Yeah. How about you? We make some money. And she goes, well, what's my cut? And she tries to give her 30%. And she's like, no, I want 60. And then it kind of cuts away. So we don't see where they settle on. My understanding is they settle on
60
or pay off the debt, whatever it works out to be. I mean, we get.
My guess is Sid's going to get free money anyways for her just playing, so 60 is not that bad, and she's still getting.
Yeah, I mean the money comes to her anyway because it's her cut, but it is what it is. So, so that's fun. So that happens. We cut back. They get the tank. So they take out some troopers. Some troopers show up.
They take out the other tank as well.
Yes, which was really, really
Wrecker
cool.
Comes in and moves the main turret.
Yep, and then as Tech's almost finished repairs, a few clones come up from behind them. They're under arrest, and then Avi Singh and the droid he takes the pot, knocks one out. They disable them again, only using stun guns. They don't want to kill their brothers essentially.
Yeah.
They get it fixed. They head off. Another tank is in pursuit. And so Avi Singh says, head down that corridor. He's like, but it's going to be at a choke point. We're going to be dead. And he's like, just trust me.
You're going to have to trust me.
And so, Echo all are like, okay, we have to do, whatever this guy says. So they go down, he says, line up against the wall, which they do so. He talks about there being an underground passage, but they need to blow a hole in the wall. So they have the tank kind of blocking the view and kind of shielding them.
That's right.
They blow a hole, Wrecker.
Yeah, he's like, I can take care of that. Boom, closes it.
Yep.
Explodes. They open it back up, and then they go through.
They go in, and then the tank shoots them, explodes the.
But
the
Hunter tank. or Wrecker also sets a detonator charge
as he runs. Yes, but first the tank shoots.
Yeah.
Which I thought was interesting because I thought it was like, okay, great. Now maybe the clones would assume that they made the hole, right?
Yeah.
And then Wrecker, as they run through, pops another bomb to collapse the tunnel behind them. They take off, and then the clones go in and say they're not here. They escaped or whatever.
But the things close up, so
it's all closed up, so they can't see where they went or. Their path is blocked. So it's funny situation. They make it all the way out, not just out of the city, but like beeline to their ship.
Yeah, through the forest and everything, the outer skirts.
Yep. And so Avi's very grateful, and they're about to board, and Avi stops and says, "What am I doing? I'm about to abandon my people. I shouldn't do this." And so, is it Echo that tells him better to live to fight another day?
It is.
Yeah.
Which is coming full circle, common ground. He sees that the Separatists aren't all bad. Like he's trying to do what's best for his people. And that the Emperor is worse than he is, and that maybe he was just doing political or whatever it was, or what he thought was best. But Echo was able to see that not all Separatists are bad, and that there's they're kind of in the same boat now.
That's right. So they convince him. He goes on the ship. They leave. They head to Ord Mantell. As they arrive to, I guess, collect their payment, they see that some
huge
people,
commotion, like people
running into the bar. So they kind of come in and they hear people cheering on this girl.
It's packed. Like we haven't seen this place like this ever. Like this is a business we've seen.
And so Hunter like peeks over. He goes, "Of course, it's Omega or whatever." And so
Wrecker's like excited and happy to see her doing anything.
So she's at the chessboard. She's playing against some guy.
He seems really
he seems like a smart guy, the way he's dressed and stuff like that. And so. Sid's got her hands on her, really excited she's gonna win, and some drunk patron kind of puts his hand on the other guy. The guy's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Sorry, I'm just involved. I hope you win or whatever." Yeah. So he makes a move, takes out Omega's piece, and he's very happy with himself because he's got her surrounded. And Omega does a move that kills again
she
2 pieces.
Smirks, and then does
and it's like some attack that kills 2 people. So it's like, okay, she wins again. Yeah. So Sid's all happy. Okay, done. We're done for the day. All bets are off.
Yeah, because she sees the guy's back.
Yep, and then she goes, welcome back. She's been doing great. Let's talk about payment. No. First she talks to Hunter, because Hunter's like, I told you not to make a commotion, to stay low. This is not what we discussed. Yeah,
because he was yelling at Omega, being like,
That's right.
I told you to stay low. And she pipes in saying, back off, bandana.
Yeah.
And like, she's been helping. She's been useful.
Yeah, and then she says she paid off your debt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I kind of thought she would, once they talked about 36, I told my son, I was like, I bet she's going to like pay off their debt and everything from this, which was kind of cool. And
part of the team.
Yeah, exactly. She wants to be part of the team. So after Sid rips into him a bit, she goes off and
bumps into Hunter like, see?
And he looks at her like, be better.
Like, what's the matter with you? Yeah. So because Wrecker already accepts her as one of the team. Like he's like, oh, she
like
had too much.
His best buddy.
Yeah, we gotta lay low. She's just a kid, and he's like, she seems fine. Like, what's the problem here? So Hunter still sees her as like a kid, and him her father figure. And so Wrecker's
he split. He's like worried about the father, but he like also called her out for the team to do an assignment. Not realizing, forgetting that she wasn't on this mission, so he feels like she's part of a team, but he's also has that fatherly, that protective. She's still kind of young, but she's getting better. She has a bow to help protect herself with a weapon, and she's obviously very smart, strategy wise, and she's helped them out plenty of occasions.
And she explains to him helpful that she wanted to pay off their debt. She wanted to feel like she was helping the team,
being useful, even if not on the mission. She was helping out.
That's right. And so, she doesn't mention anything about being good at strategy to him yet. He says, "Okay, how about we play? If you win, you on the next mission.
If you win, you'll never be silent."
Oh, you'll never be silent. That's right. Yeah. And then he goes, "Are you ready?" And she's like, "Are you ready?"
Yeah,
and so they sit down. and
like
it
that.
ends there. But it's a really cool moment. So we obviously know she's really good at strategy, amongst other things.
Yeah.
She's got a really good mind.
It seems like she picks up on a lot of things. Like
her brain.
learns.
She's very smart, but she's not like a tech smart where it's like I can figure things out and solve problems. It's like a street smart kind of thing,
she
right?
absorbs all the information.
Yeah, like Thrawn.
Yeah, like she just absorbs it all. Like she got the bow really quick. Like everything she gets, she struggles at the beginning with it. She's taught, she learns, and she's like, okay. Like even when Wrecker was, I'd like to see if she can
do the bomb
thing now, because now that Wrecker's teaching her, I feel like she could probably do it like 1 or 2 times if she tried.
Quick.
Yeah.
But then hanging out with Tech, you think she'd also be very smart at certain things.
But I don't know if Tech has like spent the time to. It seems like anyone that's spent the time to like teach her things, like bow, like Echo taught her the bow. Wrecker was doing the bombs and detonation. Like Hunter's kind of been showing her tactics of tracking and strategy and things like that. Like anyone that's taken the time, Tech's just kind of out of his, not really thinking of Omega as anything other than a team member.
Yeah.
But I think anyone that like kind of teaches her and like invests in her, she's like a sponge and just picks it really up. So I'm intrigued to see if that's like part of her enhancement, like kind of like Thrawn, where she like absorbs all the knowledge that she can and just keeps it all stored and becomes maybe not expert, but very well versed in things.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, so it would be very interesting to see. I'm still waiting on that little twist to see what her official enhancement is.
Yeah, and if it is the Force, and that's what's helping her with strategy and all that sort of thing, right?
As well, right? Like she could be absorbing things through the Force or whatever it may be. There's lots of options still, and they've left little breadcrumbs, which I figure as soon as they say, it'd be like, oh, that makes so much sense. Like this is why this happened. This is why she's good at this, or whatever it may be. And like she can sense people like it not being Crosshair's fault for doing things, and feeling all the things that the characters are feeling.
Yeah. So I think at this point, the debt's paid off. So as I mentioned in the beginning of this episode, it's open to where they can go next. They don't have to do any missions anymore. They can go
back
off.
To Sid if they don't want.
What's next for them? Are they going straight for Crosshair now? Is that the plan? I mean, he's hunting them down.
6 episodes left, right?
Yeah.
Yes, there's 16. So there's 6 episodes left. Do
so
they see Rex again?
2 3 episode arcs, or are we going to just do one giant thing?
Yeah, I can see it being 2 3 episode arcs.
Yeah, finish it. The final one being the finale or whatever is going to happen. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how we kind of. I don't think we're going to find out Omega's thing until the end.
Yes,
I think that they're going to hold it. Yes. We're probably going to bump into Crosshair sooner than we expect, and then some big, them escaping from the Empire, trying to figure out what happens. Do they get separated from Omega? Do they not? I don't know, but I feel like Crosshair and them are going to kind of come together in the next 3 episodes, and whatever happens, happens. And then I think the last 3 is going to be them trying to like escape, or kind of we need to do our own thing now, and the Empire's hot on their heels. And then obviously figure out what Omega's special thing is, and does she stay with him, or does she get separated or go her own way? That's what we're going to find out, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Do you think we'll see Cad Bane again?
I do think Cad Bane will be after, because he wants to collect.
Yeah.
And even though the person that was sent to get the money, Ton Wei, she died, it wasn't her that submitted the bounty. It was the minister who's still alive. I would expect that he'd be like, go after her, get her whatever means necessary. So I do think he will be back. And Fennec Shand, I mean, she says, where to reach me, so I wouldn't be surprised if she reaches out, Fennec Shand, say we need your help again to defend her or something. And so I wouldn't be surprised if you see both of them. But
do you think we'll see Boba Fett though?
I don't think we'll see him. I figured if we do, it'll probably be in another season. Now we don't know if Bad Batch is getting another season, do we?
We don't. They haven't announced anything yet.
So it is possible,
because she's like his sister.
But I kind of feel like they want Omega to be alive, and then in the Book of Boba Fett show, Fennec Shand brings it up about him having a sister, or him, I knew someone else, blah, 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 that, because she finds out the Boba Fett is, you're a clone, I knew someone else, and it's going to come up, and then maybe he's going to look out for her, or she's going to show up in the show, or something. I feel like it's going to come up again. Omega's going to come up somewhere else. They're they're really focusing on strong female characters. And just like Ahsoka, how well she's done, Fennec Shand, they're bringing her into light everywhere. We have, what was the other one? Bo-Katan has been popping up more often. And what was the other strong one that's been everywhere? Not from the movie, not Rey, but like TV shows. I thought there was another one that they introduced that was kind of like getting traction. I can't remember.
Omega's been getting some good
But Omega is the new one.
Yeah.
That okay, that's the next big strong female lead that's going to be toys and figures and everything. And let's launch it. Let's put it forward. In Rebels, Sabine. and
Sabine
like Hera
was
and stuff
good.
like that.
Cara
Right?
Dune was a strong female as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
they have lots of
they're
strong
trying to
females,
push
which is
that
good.
angle, and I think that it's a great character. Lots of possibilities connecting from the old and kind of really cool ties to what the future holds. So that's why I think it makes sense that they're doing this now.
I love that everything connects in one way or another.
Yeah.
Like they brought new shows where it connects to the past and the future and things like the way that they're doing it and connecting anything just by little, even if it's just little Easter eggs or actual bringing characters in and showing them as guest experience. Or like full characters, it's amazing. I love it.
They talk about Star Wars, right? The Force connects everything, so it would make sense, you know, if you think like everything happens for a reason and balance of the Force, and this has to happen for this to happen, and it, you know, without people realizing it, everyone has an impact on something else that helps lead to where the main story is going. So it makes sense that like you bumped in this person, didn't tell that they got helps the realization down the road with someone else, and it all. I, you know, chalk it up to the Force if you want, whatever. But it's pretty cool. So, you know, excellent episode. I enjoyed it. I cannot wait to see what happens in this last like 6 episodes.
6 episodes are going to be amazing.
It's going to be going. Yeah. I don't expect any more bottle episodes. Not that this one was one, but I don't expect any filler episodes going forward unless they don't do another arc. They do 3 random episodes and then the final arc. We'll have to wait and see how they do it.
Yeah, it could be, but I feel like they still have enough that they can. Like keep it pretty entertaining and keep it pumped up and lots of action. Yeah, I agree. So there you have it, folks. There's our thoughts on episode 10, Common Ground. But let us know what you think. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment below. We love to hear from you. And as always, friends, stay nerdy. All right.